There we go. All right. We are live. It is Monday.
Keeping it live.
That's right. And I am joined here with
The one and only
Coach Sam.
Coach Sam. Exactly.
Good to see you.
I'm here on a wonderful Monday evening, working to get better despite ourselves. So I guess as you saw on the board, need two things. They're optional, of course, but it's good to have them: jump rope and something heavy to hold on to when you're doing goblet squats. All right, so let's get started, and we'll do some jump rope just to work on that skill. Work on untangling the jump rope. Yeah. It's a process. You'll do this for very long. Whew. That's a good warm-up too, just spazzing out. Gets blood pumping.
Maximizes muscle confusion.
Yes, exactly. So it works. I feel I'm getting warm just doing that just for a few seconds. All right, so throw our jump rope off to the side, do some jumping jacks. Work on moving your arms, warming up the whole body. All right, and we'll do some speed skates and warm up our hips. So just step from side to side. Not gonna do anything super hardcore, but
Bonus points, got sweet wraparound sunglasses to do your speed skates.
yeah, exactly. I expect everybody to be in their Lycra when they're doing this. And have thighs the circumference of watermelons.
I think that's the goal anyways.
That is the goal anyways.
Convergent athleticism there.
All right, so we'll get into the kick stretch. So again, I'm using my right leg, so my hand is actively swinging. I'm not just kind of letting it droop. I'm throwing it back and forward to counteract the weight of my leg. So almost you want to think about your arm is geared to your leg, and your arm pushing down makes your leg go up, not the other way around, right? So you're pushing your arm down, and it's the mechanics, bunch of gears and levers, bringing your arm up, bringing your leg up. All right, go to the other side, same thing. This is where the power comes from. This is what is moved by the power. I have a feeling this might be a little bit of a long class, but that's all right. All right, and open the gate. Try and control your balance and try and get your knee up nice and high. All right, so I'm in control. I'm in control, the whole thing. Don't ever say that I'm not. So, yeah, but I'm not falling and catching myself with my foot, right? I'm on balance, kind of, and I put my foot down. Bah. 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 All right, now close the gate, same idea. Knee high, keep your balance the whole time through, and put your foot down. Whoa. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was like, did I put everything I wanted on the list? But whatever's on the list is on the list, so that's the way it goes. All right, so then we'll go into, oh, I did put what I wanted. It's right there. All right, so wash the feet, right, back straight. We're focusing on feeling the stretch through here. So sinking my hips back, and just splashing a little water, a little rose water. Oh. Ah, the old man groans cometh. Eventually I'm just gonna have my own chair. That'll be great. And then that's just the way I get in and out of the chair, is by just going. What do you want, you stupid cabs? All right, so now we'll do some standing bow pose. So again, right, I'm standing on one foot, and I'm trying to stand pretty upright and holding my foot with my hand. I'm pushing my foot into my hand, and I kind of get into a bow pose like this. You can see my thigh and my torso kind of create an arc, and then my calf or my shin and my arm are the bowstring. And then I'll just go down, and I'm trying to keep my front of my hips facing this way the whole time, or actually when I bend over, I guess they'll be facing the ground, but I don't want them tilting off to the side. If you can keep your balance. Try and relax the foot you're standing on. You'll actually get more stable. If you tense up, then you'll tip over. Remember, tension, pressure into your hand with your leg. All right. Go to the other side. Hold it. Put pressure into my hand with my foot. And then bend over. And whenever you feel your quads are getting or tensing, or like the tension's building in your leg, that's where you stop, right? You don't need to try and touch the ground or anything, because then you're gonna bend at your hip, and then you're not stretching the muscles that you want. So, you know, with this leg, I can go down about this far. That's how when things start tensing up for me. So some people are more flexible, and congratulations. I'm super jelly, but I'll go to where the stretch starts happening. Alrighty. I know I remember what I didn't put in there, but that's all right. Okay, so now we'll go into everybody's favorite, that downward dog. Get on our hands and knees. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Curl the toes, and then push yourself backwards. Push your hips over your feet. Right, and relax your head. Just let your head kind of dangle. Concentrate on your breathing, and try and relax through your posterior chain, particularly in your calves. Right? Try and relax and let your heels touch the ground. Alrighty, and then the last one, heels overhead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll on my back until I am floor is touching my head and my shoulders. And my heels are gonna go over the other side of my head. What I like to do when I do this is when my feet go over, I kind of grab my toes, and then I can kind of straighten out and start trying to straighten my legs, and that helps with the stretch. So I'll show you real quick. Like from here, I'm gonna roll my back and over, and then like this. I grab onto my feet like this, and then I just kind of straighten my legs a little bit, and I can feel the stretch pretty nicely through my hamstrings and in my lower back. All right. Okay, so we got that done. A little bit ahead of schedule, so that's good. So we have a fair amount of things that I want to bring up at least. All right, so first thing we're gonna talk about is footwork, and I guess I put wide base. And so last week I was talking about like kind of blade work, right? Circular blade actions and how that sets up counter, and I also said it like requires distance, and so this is just a tool to kind of manipulate the distance. So we're gonna have kind of a wide stance, okay? So here my front foot is definitely out in front of my hips, and my back foot is definitely behind my hips, right? So my hips are in the center, I got a nice good base, right? I have a lot of ability to, I have a lot of leverage on my hips with my legs, so I can move back and forth. And that's really important. All right, so all we're gonna do is kind of keep this position, and I'm just gonna hop forward and then hop back. Pretty simple, right? So when I'm going back, I'm kind of bringing my front foot back a little bit. I'm kind of loading up my back leg, but I'm keeping my front hip down and centered there, right? I'm not totally, not putting any load on my front leg. So, yeah. So just hop back and forth like this. Okay. Try and land with both feet at the same time. Alright. And we can do a little bit of variety, right? You can hop in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, you know, in, right? In, out, in, out, in, out. Oh, then a step away. So I'm setting up a rhythm that I'm on this timing of the rhythm, I'm in. And on this timing, I'm out, right? And that's how you set people up, is you set up rhythms, and then you change the rhythm, or you get them to move kind of on your rhythm, and then you're right there, right? So you're setting up the situation, and then watching how they react to the situation. But then there's but then there's the variety, the things that you can build off of the tempo, like I just showed, right? In, out, in, out, out, in, out. Oh, there, I'm going back out. And you can make it bigger. Oh, jumping in, jumping back. Oh, I'm going back. Right? I'm staying on my toes. I'm like boxer or karate person. Right? You see they do a lot of jumping back and forth like this. All right. So now we'll move on. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about hand extension. All right, so we'll simplify the footwork tempo. All right, so we're just gonna go in, out, in, out, in, out. And you can extend out kind of two different things for the warm up, right? So you wanna visualize, right? You're stepping in, they're coming in really close, and then you extend out and they're right there to hit them, right? Because they've screwed up the distance because you're manipulating it and they stepped in at the wrong time. And you're just hopping back in. Oh, they're right there. Boink, gotcha. Right? In, out, in, out, in, out, in, bah. In, out, in, out, in, out, in. Bah. Well, there's a little lunge. I guess that's the next thing. But, you know, they all kind of flow together. Right? Bah. Gotcha. Gotcha, right? Went right after the retreat. We made a miss. Hit. Right? Bah. Alright, just stuff like that. All right, and then now in and out with a lunge. I kind of previewed that. That was totally on purpose. And that's if you need a little bit of extra reach, right? Like they aren't quite in distance for a single cut, but they're not paying attention, so you can get a little more extension with the lunge, right? Because they're hanging out close, because that's what they want to be, right? So maybe they're good enough to realize that they can't just like walk in to cutting distance. They have to kind of come up with a plan, but they're not focused too much on, their concentration is laxed, right? So they're expecting you to bounce back out, but you're not. You're lunging, right? So in, out, right? That was even too big. Getting too wild. Right? And that's all you're doing. So stepping in a little bit, right? If you're Saber or even Epee, you're thinking maybe like a stop hit on the inside there, or even a counter to the body if their hand's way back. In Saber especially, foiled, same thing, right? You're manipulating distance, gotcha, and then back out, right? So we're setting up a rhythm, staying light on our feet, right? And then if we want to go out, oh, gotcha, right? Whoop, bah. 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 Oh, that was a little extra, but that's all right. Sometimes you want to do a little bit, who knows? All right, cool. So that's just a little warm up, just to kind of get your ideas, get your body kind of in tune with what we're trying to do. So now we're going to be talking about what we're doing with the hand or the blade work. I actually grabbed my sword to make it a little more. So we're doing some parries. I guess you need a sword, not necessarily a stick. All right, so blade work. All right, really simple. With that in and out, what I found there's a lot of success for me is I'm pretty good at countering. Lefty magic, all that stuff. But people get privy to that, and then they start looking for my hand extensions when I'm trying to counter, and then they just hit me on the hand, right? And so we want to use the rhythm of the distance closing, but then we also use the rhythm, with our bodies, I guess. This is still closing distance, but we're doing it with our hand, right? And we're setting things up, not just with our body encroaching on their space, but our hand encroaching on this. So we're just extending our arm back, right? Just doing this kind of stuff, right? Very light, we're loose, relaxed, and we're not trying to do anything heavy duty. Just in and out, just like that, all right? And then, just like what I was talking about, you're extending your hand, especially on defense, and people are seeing that, and you set up a rhythm. What are they going to try and do? They're going to sometimes, if you can get them thinking that way, right? Oh, look, their hand is out, right? Easy target, right? You're encroaching on their distance, but your extension of your arm is encroaching on your distance to a certain extent, right? You're bringing target area closer to your opponent, and they're going to key in on that, right? So I'm back, up, pair riposte, right? And there's lots of varieties you can do, right? There's this, you can go here, parry 3. If you're fencing someone that likes to have a low hand or someone that's shorter than you, right? And parry 2, riposte, right? Especially if they like going for that underhand, right? Right? So I'm replacing an extension with the parry. Look at this. Look at this. Parry riposte. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Or maybe a little bit after too, right? Get them to look at it. Here it is. But it goes back to the footwork, right? And dictating when and when not they can hit you, right? Because if you just do this without any sort of control of distance, it's not going to work. Okay? You've got to control all the factors, right? This is when you're using your feet to dictate exactly when they can hit you, okay? That you are in distance, right? You're deciding that, okay? Or you're actively participating in the distance closing, right? You're not passive, you're active, you're doing something that's making the distance close, all right? Then we add in a little extra detail, right? To get them to focus on something. with that distance close, because we know when they're going to be looking for something, so then we give them something to look at that time, right? So, look, I'm putting my hand out there, you know, and then it goes, you know, in and out, in and out, in and out, right? Stuff like that. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So yeah, just extension and contract, pair or post, bum. And the last thing, well, we got a couple things that we're doing. So the next thing is false parry, pair or post, right? Get them cagey about committing to a hitting action, all right? And so they know they want to hit you when you're closing the distance, but maybe you've parried them or you've, you know, skittered away before they could like do something, and so they're gonna like make sure. I'm gonna make sure that I'm watching what they're doing so that I don't get parried or I miss like an idiot, because that's like the inner monologue that's going on in their head to a degree, right? I don't want to screw up. So I'm staying my hand out. False parry, pair, or post. And this, you can do lots of different things, right? Parry, I like doing parry 2, parry 3, right? Extending the hand, parry, pair, or post. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, look, papa. Right? We're not working on footwork, right? That extends out the time, right? I wouldn't be just standing here doing false parry. I would be moving my feet and getting away, not necessarily getting away, but I'm retreating, so I'm moving with my opponent to extend the time that it takes for them to actually complete the action, right? So I've got them cagey, right? They don't want to extend their hand, and then I'm moving with them, and so the distance doesn't close super suddenly, right? Because then I can't do several actions. I can't do compound something or another. So it just won't work, right? So always remember feet, right? In and out, in and out. However rhythms that you want, right? We're doing very simple here, just in and out, in and out. You can change it. But just ideas, right? So in and out, and false parry, pair or post. In and out, pair, post. In and out, and ba. Just for some fanciness. So, all right, and then we're gonna go and in and out. So we're extending our hand out, okay, and this is relating kind of to the last thing of just with our feet, with the lunge, right? We're extending our hand in and out, in and out, in and out, and then, okay, lunge, and then recover right away, right? Not a big lunge, because we need like this much extra distance, right? They know where they want to be, right? They're just outside where you can hit them with just a hand action, and then they made the mistake of waiting too long or being too complicit or just kind of assuming that you were going to bounce out. They can just hang out right at that edge of distance and kind of wait for when they're comfortable with the cycle that they can step in and hit. So if you get someone to kind of be complacent like that, then you can just close the distance a little bit more, and they won't have time to react. So in and out, in and out, in and out. So it's after the hand is already extended, right? I'm already setting a precedent. This is where my blade's going to be, not close enough to hit you. Look, it's coming right here. It's going right there. It's going right there, but I'm going a little further. Gotcha. And same thing, I'm kind of thinking like countering, like stabbing someone in the chest or in the neck. But same thing applies for hitting people with stop cuts, right? They're not letting you take the blade, but they're hanging out in that distance. Maybe you can step in, get a little shot, right? And then get away. So same thing. All right. So we got the blade work kind of down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to combine kind of everything together. So we're going to go in and out and extend and retract the arm. All right, and we're doing it very simply, just to kind of get some basics down. I would encourage you guys to practice this more, right? Just feel how different rhythms work, and feel how your hand moves when you're doing stuff, because there's some combination techniques that kind of leave you in a bind, and there's other things that are real smooth and silky, and you kind of have to play with that to figure out how that works for you. All right, so in and out, right? nice gentle extension. I'm not trying to hit anything. I'm just kind of putting it out there to be obnoxious. It's in the way. All right. And then I hit, and then I get away, right? So I'm thinking like they're right there, or their hand's right there. All right. So that's going in. Going out, miss hit. All right. So stepping back and forth, extending the hand, and step away, hit, right? And also when we're stepping away too, because we're extending our hand, and especially if you're good with the distance, so the only time they've gotten touches or gotten close to getting a touch or something is when your hand's extended and they count and they hit it on the attack, right? And so getting them to focus on this, and then I can pull this away, and that's a huge, if they're thinking that my hand's here, and I pull it back here, that's making a miss, right? So I don't have to move back that far. I don't have to take this big jump and get back out of distance, right? And also retracting that arm is a pretty essential thing, right? I'm getting everything back, I'm trusting my distance, miss, hit, right? So, also keeping my feet wide, right? Like I said in the beginning, right? You keep your hand low, you can do it low hand. Oh, look, I'm going to do these little undercuts. Hit, right? You can do it with a high hand. Right? So multiple positioning things, right? This is kind of a concept. You can play with it to your particular likes, right? High hand or low hand, or a combination of however you want. But the important thing is I'm staying bouncy, staying light on my feet, and I guess when you guys come back, watching how they react to what you're doing, okay? And as they're either, well, ideally, they're either ahead of your timing or behind your timing, right? So you're back here, and then you're stepping in, right? Or they're anticipating you stepping in, and that's when they launch the attack, so you can either take another step back, or stop, pair, or post, right? Or they are too late, right? They're behind the time. And so that's when you're in and they're not realizing that the distance is so close, they're right there to get hit with a counter. Or you step in, then they try and close distance, you step back, pair, or post, or false pair, or post, right? If they are perfectly in tune with you, you're not gonna pull anything off. And that probably means that they kind of have your whole rhythm down, like they figured it out. So you gotta change something in the preparation, and setting all this stuff up. Otherwise, it's gonna be a short night. Short night. All right. So now we'll go into more blade work. Again, this kind of concepts: beat, cut, and pair, post, going out. All right. And so with this is another thing I really like doing, especially if I counter people. They're gonna try and look for that blade work, right? Or they're gonna try and not look for that blade work. They're going to try and look for my hand, right? If I hit them with a counter, they're typically going to look for the hand because they know when I'm trying to counter them, that my hand's extended and it's also not in a position where I can protect myself or protect my hand, my arm, right? So I'm going in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and then I take the blade, right? Aggressive beat, cut, right? Because they know that your hand's gonna be there, and maybe their blade starts to wander out, or they have a pattern that they do when they're looking for something, and you notice where their blade ends up, like when in influence to your pattern. And so then you can maybe pick it up and hit them, pick it up, take over right away, march them down to the end of the strip. Okay? So watching, and again, I'm just doing it back and forth. You guys can, do a little more complex rhythms. Don't get too complex. Keep it smooth and relaxed and balanced. Right? I see that their hand's coming out. I just take the blade and hit them right away. I like doing it from underneath. Here. I take the blade up and go in. That's me and my lefty trickery. Right? All right, and then pair or post going back, right? So I'm here, right? I'm out, I'm ahead of them, in the tempo, I've closed distance, now they're reacting to me, step back, parry, riposte. Oh, ba-boom. Ba-boom. Ba-ba. 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 So, all right. So let's move on to the last thing, so we can move on. All right. So we're gonna be including the lunge. So I am in and out, right? Extending my arm, extending my arm, extending my arm, extending my arm, right? Just like this. And then I lunge, right? And then I'm going to, as I'm recovering, I'm going to go parry, and then I'm going to jump back, pulse, parry, parry, riposte. All right? So, in, out, in, out, in, lunge, parry, parry, riposte. In, out. This one, maybe you can do a very simple thing. In, out, in, out, and out. I guess one detail too, before we move on, I'll do a show a couple more times, but I noticed myself kind of doing this with my hand. And that is absolutely unnecessary, right? All you gotta do to get them to react to your hand is do this, right? Especially if you've hit them or you've come close, right? Or they don't like it, they're gonna notice that this is happening, right? And they're gonna key in on that. And if you make it too fast or something, sometimes people are like, that's not real, right? It's subtlety makes, you know, that's what makes like a good movie compared to like, you know, just whatever, right? I mean, like, here's some movies that are just not subtle at all, right? And there's other movies that are subtle. I guess I like more of the subtleties of movies and shows and stuff like that. But you can see, like, you know, like, I don't know, it's a good, well, The Sopranos, if everybody's watching that, it's a fairly subtle show, right? They kind of show things and go away, and that's what makes it like a quality thing. It's layered, right? And so things kind of fit in the context of things. And so if you're just like throwing out this weird, like wild stuff, a lot of people are just gonna either be like, I'm not gonna deal with that at all. I'm not gonna engage with it in any way, shape, or form because I don't know what's going on. Or they're gonna be like, well, that's obviously like not a real thing because not that many people are that spazzy. So, and so they're just gonna be like, whatever, and then they're just gonna do what they want, right? Or they're just not gonna engage, and then you're gonna be pushed back to the end of the strip, and then all of a sudden you run out of space, and then you panic and do something ill-advised, like counter at the wrong time, or do a blade action looking for the blade, because you're stuck in a corner, right? You've hopped yourself back into a corner, and they can't do anything. But subtlety, if it looks like this, looks like you're making the mistake of letting your hand float out, that's something that they can actually like capitalize on, as opposed to like just like super aggressive stuff. They're just not gonna, like, okay, I'll just wait for you to get tired and then I'll go in and hit you. But subtle, yeah, like I said, you know, the subtle presentation gets the fish to bite, I guess, right? So you don't need to be making lots of noise lots of time. Sometimes you got to be very calm and like not disrupting things too much, right? So, and out, and out, and out. Notice I'm extending the hand, lunge, parry, riposte. That's just a real parry, riposte. But you can kind of interchange a lot of this stuff. No, I was just moving my front foot. Oh. So as soon as I'm missing, right, because we're kind of visualizing missing with that lunge, right, I'm throwing up a guard, right, getting something in their way right away. So they can't just do a straight attack in, right? They've got to kind of look for an open in the line. That gives me more time, and then with me retreating out of the way, gives me even more time to look for their finish. So here, looking for putting up a guard, right? Getting something in their way, looking at where they cut, parry, riposte. Ba-ba. That's all. I guess that's all it for the footwork. It's not so much like set drills, but just kind of ideas. I guess loose drills, you could take the basics and then like work on that kind of stuff. You know, create your own rhythms of how you're going in and out, right? It's not just in and out usually, right? Usually there's a lot of like, oh, I'm staying back, oh, I'm coming in, and then I'm backing away, and oh, whoops up, oh, right, oh, gotcha, right? So it's a little more complex with the footwork that you want to be thinking about, but it's your own tempo, right? How is it that you want to move? How is it that you feel comfortable moving in and out of distance? What is the combinations, right? When do you like putting in long or bigger steps, closing the distance more, or shorter actions, or big getting out, or kind of doing little steps back, you know, just that kind of stuff, right? And those combinations, like how do you like faking it? Faking stepping in, faking stepping out, and all that stuff. And that's the stuff that you kind of have to play around with. If you were fencing people, then it'd be pretty easy to play around with it. But you guys can just visualize it in your head. You don't have to do it for that long. Just something to put it in your head, right? Just work at it for a little bit. Just keep these ideas floating around in your head. Your brain is all processing all this problems or the puzzles, you know, whatever, right? Whatever you're trying to figure out, your brain's doing stuff all the time in it. That's why sometimes you wake up from a dream. You're like, aha, I have it, right? It's because your brain was working when you're not working. So keep it in your head. Keep the ideas in your head, right? And your brain will figure it out, hopefully. All right, so we'll go on to the workout. So that's really, really pretty simple. We're doing a Tabata of goblet squats, a Tabata of push-ups, and then 100 crunches. And then we'll be done for the day, for the night. So, probably should hold up the app.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Everything's set and ready to go. I just need my heavy weight. Right, go.
Just in case you missed this earlier on, this is always posted on Facebook and Instagram before we go, if you're ever looking for a copy of this and you missed out. All right. Let me shed some layers.
Shed this chrysalis to become the beautiful butterfly that I always was destined to be. So, all right, so I got my weight, I got my phone. Hopefully I don't drop my weight on my phone, but I guess we'll see. It'll be internet gold if I do drop it on there. So, all right, so let's get started. Boop. Oh, I got 10 seconds. All right.
Get acquainted with the weight.
Yep, exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, when I'm holding this, I'm using my back muscles and stuff to keep the weight tight to my chest. That's better for my back if everything is kind of tight to my center line. And so also when I'm holding on to this, I'm kind of using my elbows as a stop. So when my elbows touch my thighs, that's when I stop and go back up. Touch and up. Making my hips go backwards, putting my weight into my heels as I'm squatting down, and keeping my weight in my heels as I'm standing up. Oh, the push-ups would be so much fun. Whew. Only 2 more. All right, water break.
All right. For those of you who might not be familiar with the Tabata setup, we do 20 seconds on and then 10 seconds off, and we do 8 rounds of that. And if you do more than one, you take a quick 1-minute break in between your first and your second, and so on. So we got a little less than 30 seconds left before we start doing our push-ups.
It'll be fun. Yeah, we only got 4 minutes left. Then it's crunches, and that's easy money.
Oh yeah.
All right, looks like we're getting going here. I'll just lay here for a second.
Is the floor cold?
Ah, nice and refreshingly so. Oh, well, there went all my push-up juice. Oh, 5 more. Yeehaw.
Oh, there it is. Go, Sam, go.
Go, Sam, go. Go, son, go.
Anna with the clutch support.
Yep. Switching to my knees, so at least I can get something done. I don't have to act in futility. Only 2 more. Woo! All right, cool. I think I'm gonna go get another water break, and then we'll get done with our crunches.
Oh yeah.
That's good. All right, I'll come over here, slime up this part of the floor for a little bit. All right. Ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh boy. Well, there we are. Nothing quite like some endorphins at the end of a class. Feels good. So hopefully you guys learned something. Got a little stronger, got a little sweatier. So it's always good. It's good to work. It's good to work hard sometimes. It's good for your health, physical and mental. So on that note, definitely stay hydrated. Speaking of physical health and mental, stay safe and don't touch the faces. All right, bye-bye.